Wow.
Oh, look.
Well. Welcome to Five Osmosis again. It's been a minute. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do for those who missed out.
Um, my name is Claude. My stage name is just Cloud. And I am a performer, visual artist, and sound maker.
And so, like, what did you start with? Did you start with like video? Did you start with photography, or did you start with music?
Um, I'd probably say music.
Okay, so like, what kind of music were you listening to that inspired you?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, what inspired me to make music? Huh. It's gonna sound like really cheesy, but I think like one of the first like indie artists I discovered was like Neon Indian, and I really vibed with that. And like also, this sounds really dumb, but Grimes. Um, I discovered like a lot of ambient music and like dream pop and things like in those genres pretty early in life, like 16 years old. That kind of made me want to make music. But also, I would say my dad played a big part um, because he like bought me my first guitar um, and also like helped teach me how to work a lot of things that I use still to this day. So,
Okay, so whenever you got like a guitar, did you take lessons?
no, I never took lessons.
Oh yeah, so how old are you, and do you care to share your pronouns?
Yeah, I'm 26 and I prefer the pronouns they and them. Um, I hope it's okay. I'm drinking out of like a huge gallon of water right now.
Typically, I'd be drinking out of a huge gallon of milk. For those that definitely know, I'm a milk lover. uh, all right,
You
so
drink this?
yeah,
Oh,
just
go ahead.
straight up raw milk. You know, it's like even if it's sitting out for too long. Like out here in Seattle, are really notorious on like the kind of glass milk where it's whole milk and you have to like shake it up really hard because it's so damn chunky. And sometimes like I do have to shake it up because it's just like the chunkiness is what gets me. So like yeah, like what kind of movies and stuff do you watch? Like have you been getting into?
Oh, I need to watch more movies, actually. Um, what's a recent one I've seen? Uh, I mean, obviously I saw the Barbie movie. And actually I really liked that movie. Like, I mean, I know everyone liked it, but that's like probably one of the more memorable ones I've seen. Um, and then what else? I recently saw Swiss Army Man, even though it's a little older. I saw that a few months ago.
Did you see it for the first
Um,
time a few months ago?
yeah,
Okay,
and
so
I
yeah, I fell asleep watching that movie the first time. I still haven't gotten back to
really,
it. Yeah. What did you think? I remember the music was really cool and like weird.
um, I had a lot of thoughts about that movie. Like, it was one of those movies where when it ends, you're just kind of like, wait, that's it? It like kind of leaves you hanging a little bit.
Yeah.
But um, oh, I also but anyway, I did like the movie. Uh, I thought it was very fun and weird, and I like any sort of movie that is weird and just like playful. Also, movies that like I kind of like when movies leave you hanging. Like I like vague endings, weirdly, because Maybe because I enjoy being angry. I don't know. But
Did you watch Bo is Afraid?
no, I still need to see that.
Yeah, that one is one of those ones where I was like, damn, that was that. I went through that whole ride, and I still don't understand where I'm actually going. Even though I guess like I don't want to spoil too much, but that one really takes me for a ride. All right, so like with music, like what kind of stuff do you like use to record? Like what kind of gear do you have?
It's actually all in front of me right now. I just record in my room. I just like literally I use my laptop. I have a RC505 looper station. Um, I use right now currently I'm using a Live-in XFM. It's like a synthesizer, but also it's like a drum machine and a rhythm box, and it kind of just like does everything. And then I obviously like I have like the cheapest mixer ever, and it's like actually quite crap. Like my setup is quite shitty. Um, and then I obviously just have like a MIDI keyboard and a regular keyboard and a guitar, and like that's pretty much it. And but like also I like to try to get creative and use things that aren't instruments to like make sounds. Like I have like a random like scrap piece of metal that I keep that I like to just experiment with. Like I'll use like trash sometimes, just to see what sounds I can get, like with adding like effects and stuff. Really just like anything. Also like I'll just like use my phone sometimes to sorry, my cat. Sometimes I'll just like use my phone literally to like record things. Like if I'm like on a walk and I hear like a sound, I'm like, what the hell is that sound? It sounds really cool. I'll just like use my phone as a field recorder because like the sound quality is like just pretty much just as good as if I were to buy a cheap field recorder. So I kind of hate this generation, but I also love that like a lot of more advanced technology is so more accessible. So it's like I guess that's the payoff for living in dystopia.
All right, so I know one of your all-time favorite questions, famous questions, is like, if you had the time machine, would you go forwards or backwards, and why? So, what would your answer be?
Yeah, I asked you that, I think, when I
Yeah.
interviewed you. Wait, I gotta think. I don't know. I feel like both would probably suck.
Forwards or
Because-
backwards?
because-
We're talking future.
Because like if things are anything like going the way they are now in the future, then I can just imagine like how bad it's gonna be. So I'd probably go in the past and just try to like, I don't know, do something kind of selfish, honestly, and like do better in school. Because I actually didn't do very good in school, even though I'm like a genius.
All right. So, do you think whenever you go back in time, like, do you like become yourself in the past, or do you think that you collide and you see yourself in the past?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know like how that would affect it. I feel like if you saw yourself, you'd probably die. That'd probably mean you were dead. So I'd probably be myself.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Do you actually remember your dreams, or do you keep a dream journal?
Yeah, I've been having some really fucked up ones.
Do you remember them?
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, I feel like it happens to be like in the most crucial moments are the only things that I actually remember. But then, like the moment that I wake up, I'm like, I have no clue how I got to that climax of like this weird oddity that's happening. Like for an example, a kind of dream that I always have is like being in a courtroom and it's just like the worst thing ever happening to me. It's like pure sweat and like drenched in like pure anxiety, just like oh god damn it, I can't do anything about this. And like whenever I wake up, it's like okay, like good thing I wasn't really in a courtroom, but I feel like I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah, no, I've had like anxiety dreams. Yeah, I feel that. I've actually like I just had a dream like that recently. I dreamt I was in this giant mansion and but like I in my mind, like I knew I wasn't supposed to be there, but I was just like going with it anyway. And so I was like making sure this man like didn't catch me, but then eventually he did catch me and like he was starting to like quote unquote punish me, and the punishment was like burning my hand with like letters, and then that's when I woke up. He like
Sounds
kind
like
of reminded me. The man was really scary. He had like this like plague mask on, and he kind of reminded me of Smithers from The Simpsons.
all right, so I checked out your YouTube channel and like I'm a big fan of like the kind of artistic videos that you do. Did you ever have one where like you were, like plotting out storyboarding, or do you just kind of go for like the idea that you have and shoot it?
Um. So yeah, so far I like all the videos I have up right now. I haven't really made storyboards for, um, because like sometimes when I get an idea, I'm just like too impatient and I just like I already know what I want it to look like, so it's like more important that I just get everything set up in real life instead of storyboarding, because as soon as I start storyboarding, I just get angry. But I am trying to get better at storyboarding, and I'm actually also trying to work on scripting. Um, I'm working on like a few scripts right now, so that's kind of like a thing I'm trying to do, I guess.
Yeah, to mention script wise, you've written like a whole short film or short story of sorts. I remember reading it whenever you first posted it. So like what kind of got you into doing like your own kind of screenplay or writing? Like what got you into that?
Oh, that's a good question. Hmm. Huh. I guess I don't know. Like, well, this is gonna be like kind of this might like be like a frustrating answer, but I like to me, I feel like storytelling is just something that everyone does.
Yeah.
Like, um, and I guess like a lot of like for me, um, I like making up stories because I don't have a very exciting life, I guess. So I kind of just daydream a lot. And I come up with ideas that way, and like I start to wish that I could like live in them instead of living in my real life. So I guess it's kind of like a form of escapism, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So like, do you have like a certain premise or something that like you want to like, bring to life, or do you just kind of right now have the intention of like writing out stuff that you feel and like have an idea for and see like how it develops.
Oh, wait, say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, like with your writing, like do you actually like intend for it to like get developed, or are you just kind of focusing on the story aspect and like putting it together for it to be something in the future?
No, like I definitely like there's a specific script right now I'm working on that I definitely want to like have it come to life. Um, I definitely want to film it, definitely like possibly hire actors, like the whole thing. Yeah, definitely.
Best way to do it on your first run, Craigslist, but no pay. Like to see weed out who's really in it for the good stuff, you know? Like no pay for this whole thing, but I have a really awesome idea.
Yeah, no, actually have tried that. And it's not a good idea. And well, I mean, it might have worked for some people, but I have not had luck with that. Like a lot of people that like I don't know, like I would put an ad up like that, and then like people, it's almost like they'd respond to the ad, but they didn't read anything about what I wanted.
All
So
right.
it's like yeah, I'm trying to find an actor or an act or like I'm trying to find an actress who's like female around the ages of 20 to 30, and then like it's a bunch of like 40-year-old men responding to it, and it's like
I would
okay,
be in this, yeah.
did you
Like,
even
okay.
read the thing? You know?
Well,
Yeah.
all right. So what's your hand tattoo? Is that like an actual symbol or something?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is called a Globus Cruciger.
Okay.
And it's like very popular in medieval imagery, and it's also like sort of like religious imagery. And it's basically cross and like a lot of like art historically, kings will be like depicted like with their foot on the globe, like holding a sword or something or holding a cross. And it's basically like a symbol of power or like royalty kind of.
Okay.
1 minute. I have to respond to someone
You have to
real quick.
respond. It's okay. I understand.
Okay. I responded to them.
Alrighty. So some of the
Hold on. I'm gonna shut my window also.
all right, some of the most essential vibe osmosis questions I have. This one, is the classic. If you were stranded on an island, but you could only take one thing with you, what would you bring?
Uh,
And it can be
probably my cat.
okay.
Probably my cat.
What's your cat's name?
Her name's Vesper.
Vesper. Alrighty.
Yeah, like I think it would be really hard to survive on an island if I didn't have some sort of friend.
Yeah, no matter if the island was the worst thing, it's like as long as I have a friend, I think I can get through this. Like even if we're both naked. That's one of the most things I think about whenever I mention stranded on an island. I'm like, do I have clothes? Like if I
Yeah,
have
it's like
clothes,
well, I think a lot of people think about like, okay, like I'm gonna need to survive. Like I need like clothing, food, shelter, but it's like really like that stuff for me, I feel like would be easy. I feel like I would figure that out within a week. Maybe, and that's probably like one of my red flags is thinking that I could easily just survive on a stranded island. But but like the thing that would really bother me, yeah, is just like being fucking isolated and lonely and like probably starting to hallucinate people in front of me because there's no one there.
all right, yeah. To bring up hallucinogens, are you a fan of psychedelics of any kind? I'm a big fan of mushrooms, LSD, I've done DMT a few times, and I think DMT is probably the main thing I would ever do past this point because, like, I feel like I'm so burnt out on the acid and like mushrooms, or they burnt me out.
Actually, I never tried psychedelics.
Already.
The only thing I ever did like was just weed, which is
Okay,
like
so
technically I think some people would say that's a psychedelic, but
yeah.
everybody does it though, so it's like
All right.
but yeah, I've never.
The thing
What's
about
that?
weed, I guess the thing about weed is like if you don't smoke a lot and you smoke like some really strong stuff, a lot of it, then you can trip. But other than that, it's like for actual daily users or people that use it for medicine, it's like you're only seeing the slight benefits of the THC. Have you ever heard of Rick Simpson oil?
No. What is that?
I gave my friend basically like a heavy, strong dose of like weed. And like I didn't know how strong the Rick Simpson oil was, and I gave him like 2 grams of it. That's insane. And so like whenever I did it, and whenever I gave him the 2 grams, he had a psychedelic trip where he like faded out like in the shower, was like numbing out, like he was fucked up. But whenever I did the Rick Simpson oil, I only, dabbed it like maybe like less than a gram, and I was just really, really fucking high. I was like, this guy's got probably higher tolerance. Let me give him some more. No, it like concussed him. He was like out of his mind. He was zooted. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have a tolerance, then
yeah, exactly. All right, so I was wondering, like, would you ever like play a show or do like a project while you were like tripping or something? Would you ever try that?
oh, like trip while doing a show?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so like at some point, I think it would be maybe interesting to try mushrooms.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever want to try like LSD, or anything like that.
My advice to people that don't trip is to don't do it. It's like if you haven't done it, don't do it.
Don't. Okay. No, like I kind of have like a fear that if I do psychedelics, I'm just gonna freak out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll feel like I'm dying.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Now to mention like with your videos and stuff that you post on YouTube, do you have like a favorite that you've worked on? And like I'm really a big fan of like the stuff that you've shown like with the mask. It's like the really long nose mask. Like that stuff is really sick.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Favorite thing I've done. Actually, it's funny because like I don't really care about any of the things I've done so far. Like none of them, like I don't really like, they were fun to do and I don't regret making them, but I don't like look at my stuff, like look back at it like it's like memorabilia or something, be like, wow, I'm so proud of this. I kind of just like I'm always looking forward to making new stuff. And then like, so actually like I'm more excited about the newer thing that I'm gonna be finishing up pretty soon, which is just like a ridiculous short film about a man named Werdivio.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna give like many details because like I feel like it's almost like pretty explanatory, like what it's about just based off his name. But
Yeah.
that's like what I'm looking forward to right now. Yeah, I don't know. I like maybe I'm being hard on myself, but like I don't really like look back at a lot of my art and think like, wow, I'm proud of it. I think a lot of it actually sucks.
All right, so like
Um,
with your drawings and stuff, do you ever kind of think like that could be something, or like do you still also like try to move forward from creating like stuff physically?
um, actually, well, when it comes to like drawings and paintings, that weirdly like I take more seriously, and I there are a couple paintings that and like a couple drawings that I look at and I'm like, I'm actually really proud of this. I
Uh,
don't know why it's different for painting and drawing. Maybe because like filming kind of gives me like almost like instant gratification in the moment and then it's like done. But like with a painting or a drawing, it's like I think the biggest piece I ever worked on, it took me like 6 months to finish. And it was actually like I posted a picture of it on my Instagram at one point. I think I might have taken it down, but it's like kind of like a realistic painting of like a woman like holding this dead man in her arms and she's crying, and I'm like very proud of that. Um, I do hope to do more paintings. I just like um life kind of hit me last year. Um, but I do want to get back to painting like, as well.
yeah, so would you consider yourself more of a painter than a drawer?
I like doing both equally.
Yeah.
Only thing that sucks is painting is like slightly more expensive.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
So you have
but
to
I like both.
put into your hobby if it's a hobby. Some people take it as like their full-time job, and that's where I'm like, I don't know how you can always ride on that like instinct, like this next creation's gonna be it, it's gonna do it.
No, I definitely don't think like that. I don't ever expect to make a living off of my creations, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's where I think you'll be surprised when it comes back to you because still young and still great and like still have much to learn, I guess. And if you feel like nothing is, adding up yet. All right. So here's one of the biggest things, I'm like big on famous favorite artists that like you always go to and listen to, or like if you're like today's a shitty day, like this is the kind of playlist I'm going for, like kind of shout out like some of that minor inspiration.
So like I think that's probably changed for me like every year. Um,
Every year is different.
but like recently,
Yeah.
this year, like it's funny because like it's actually a vaporwave artist,
Nice.
and
Okay.
they go by like different names, but their the main one is Father 2006.
Father.
Um, I also really love James Ferraro.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I just saw me
James
yesterday.
Ferraro is like insane and amazing. 1 minute.
Yeah, there's like a certain playlist. Yeah, it's like yeah, he is an insane artist for sure. I'm trying to quit cigarettes and get into vaping. All right, down to the last
Is there
10.
a difference?
Yes, there's a difference. One gets you higher, one doesn't.
Okay. Fair.
All right, so do you remember like whenever you first started making music, like if you were recording like on what kind of doll, or was it like something physical like tapes?
I'm sorry, what?
whenever you first started recording music, do you remember like if it was on a DAW or if it was like tapes or USB or anything like that?
Um, I think technically speaking, the first song I made on like a phone.
Okay.
But probably I would say like the first real song I made on a DAW. It's called Renoise.
And all right, so like, did you start with the Geki idea, or did you have Claudius Royale in the mix from the beginning?
Yeah, the first name I went by was Geki. And like it's like literally just a weird word I made up. It doesn't mean anything. But I actually you know, being like non-binary, wanted to have like a more masculine stage name. So that's why I changed it to the whole Claudius Royale thing. But like actually like recently I've been sort of thinking about releasing songs under the name Geki in the future again.
Cool. That video,
Possibly.
the explosions and like the weird effects and stuff, it's really sick. And like I was wondering like what kind of like inspired that like switch up from like different mediums, and then like you have like weird like effects and shots and stuff like that.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about specifically? Explosions?
Yeah, like in the explosion shots and that kind of stuff. Like, what kind of got you into that? Like, how did you come up with the idea for like that one Geki song? It's sick. All instrumental.
Which one specifically?
All instrumental. I didn't write down the name or this.
Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, when I was releasing songs as Geki, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about now. There was a lot of like booms and
Yeah, exactly.
just weird stuff going.
If you think about it right now, the Oppenheimer thing was really tying in on this one.
Yeah, no, so like around that time I was discovering like artists like Aphex Twin, One O Tricks Point Never.
Okay.
I was taking inspiration from artists like that. But also I had discovered FKA Twigs around that time. But also, I mean, you know, it's like I never know what to say when people ask me like, how did you come up with this?
Yeah.
Like obviously like I do take inspiration from other artists, but like at the same time it's like it kind of just like comes to me.
Like the way that you execute it, what do you like use like a certain kind of camera, or do you use your phone every time?
For
the what you have out there.
For what specifically?
Yeah, for specifically like the few music videos that you have out there, like it's on, like were you using like a camera or were you using like your phone?
Oh yeah, I would have been using a Canon T3i Rebel.
Cool.
It's like I think it was like a $200 camera. Like just the body was $200, and then like the lenses are what run you more money, obviously.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. All right, so do you have like an all-time like these are my favorite movies? Just for the recommendations.
I'm gonna give like a really boring like stoner loser answer and just say The Holy Mountain.
You're a fan of like oh yeah, The Holy Mountain, yeah. Like, are you a fan of like the the Monty Python people? Are you a fan of those guys?
Oh, I never got into them actually. Yeah, I'm sure I'd like them though.
That's the one that hit me.
I really loved the like Pee-wee's Big Adventure movie.
Yeah.
Or is that what it was called? I don't remember.
Yeah, rest in peace,
I
Pee Wee.
really like Pee Wee Herman. Like, I never had watched anything related to him until after he died because my friend was like, uh, Pee Wee Herman just died, so that means we need to go watch his biggest movie. And I was like, okay. And I was like, not really excited to see it, but then after I saw it, I was like, I fucking love this.
Um, all right, before we go,
Hmm.
like, have you played a show? Have you done shows?
Um, yes. Yeah, like I think like one or two.
Alrighty. Would you consider a bomb, or would you consider it like people showed up and had a good time?
Yeah, like pretty much no one showed up except for the performers.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it goes, especially for people in the Midwest. I ain't gonna shout out exactly, but sometimes it's a hit or miss. Like, oh wow, people actually give a shit, and then it's like, okay, I already know like everybody here because I make music with them.
Yeah. It was well, it was also the first show I ever did,
Yeah,
technically. And so like I was honestly just happy to perform with other performers, really. And like I didn't even expect to get like paid for it, but like the owner of the venue like gave me $20. I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
yeah,
It's like
hook up.
not much money at all, but okay.
Yeah, that's a pizza maybe. I mean, it's a couple pizzas in the Little Caesars realm.
Exactly.
Like out here in Seattle, like downtown, I'm always like $5 for one slice. You gotta be shitting me. Like that's gotta be a New York style, motherfucker. Like I could go get me a full ass pizza at Little Caesars, but then I look at Little Caesars and it's like forever away, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy your $5 slice.
Yeah,
Got me.
quality over quantity, definitely.
Yeah. What would you say is like your favorite all-time pizza? Are you gluten-free or vegan kind of style or what?
Um, ah, hmm. Yeah, I guess I just like if I get pizza, I'll just get like a veggie pizza. Or like oh, I really like margarita pizza.
Me too. I'm a big fan. It's got to be the freshest mozzarella, preferably circle. I'm a big fan of like brie and like that kind of stuff. So it's like if I can mix that in the middle, I'll be a happy camper. Before we go too, so one of my favorite questions, what would your ultimate last meal be? It could be like a series of things. You'll
My
get here
ultimate
too.
last meal.
Yeah.
Um, um, I really don't know. That's too deep. We're getting too deep now.
I think my
Probably like honestly, something like really hedonistic. Like, what do I like? Like, I don't know, like a giant bowl of mac and cheese or something. I do like mac and cheese, but like I also know that it's like really not the best for you. So yeah, it'd be something real because it's like I'm gonna die anyway, so
Well, I really do appreciate you taking the time to join Vibe Osmosis. It's been awesome talking with you today, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day. I'll get to working on editing this one and get this out there soon enough. But thank you, Claudius.
yeah, thanks for having me.